Hopefully the noise making has stopped. No. No. Good God. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the noise in this video because everything in the world is conspiring to be noisy right now. Hey guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and as I mentioned in my last video, the next 5 books, today I'm going to be reviewing the favorite book that I read out of my last 5 books. I struggled to get through the last 5 books. Not all of them, but some of them were just not holding my interest. I just kept finding myself putting off reading them and cheating on the pile with things that weren't technically supposed to be in that 5 books. So I finally decided to just kind of give up on those for a while and chose a new stack. But there was one book from that stack of 5 that was an absolute standout, and I definitely want to tell you guys more about it. So today I will be talking about The Accident Season by Moïra Fowley-Doyle. The full synopsis to the book as well as links are below, so you can get all of that info there. And I'm going to do my best to avoid spoilers, but as with any review, watch at your own risk, but I really am going to try to avoid spoilers, so you should be safe. I have talked a bit about this book already. In fact, I feel like I've been talking about this book a lot, and that is because it is an absolute gem. It's easily going to end up in my top books of 2015, and it may well take the top spot, and that's really saying something. You guys know I'm a good sucker for magical realist stories, and this definitely has that vibe. It has that feel, both in the plot, but also in the writing. I find that a lot of times magical realism tends to have very interesting and poetic and magical style within not just what's happening, but in the way it's told. That's a big part of why I love magical realism. It tends to be very evocative language that you just want to read aloud. Case in point, I felt the need to record an excerpt of this one because I loved the language so much. So if you want to get a feel for the language and the way it sounds, you can check that out here. In some ways it kind of reminds me a lot of Laini Taylor's writing, just sort of gorgeous and lush. I know Laini Taylor can be kind of overwritten for some of you, so if you find her turns of phrase beautiful, but after a while they get to be too much, this might actually be a really good way to go because it's sort of like that but toned down, a kind of pared back version. Stylistically, it kind of reminded me of like a cross between Laini Taylor and Holly Black. So I know they both have people who love them and people who hate them, but I think it was a really good blending of those styles of that feel of writing while also being its own thing. It's that sort of comfortably poetic style that comes with folklore and superstition. My favorite style, I think, something that always draws me in and puts a smile on my face, and I think that she carried it off exceptionally. Another thing that's always likely to win me over, but that may be a little off-putting to others, is that it is boundary pushing. It deals with some controversial things. I'm not going to give away what they are because it's kind of a slow reveal for some of it, but it's boundary pushing in a number of ways, not just the controversies that it deals with and the way it's sort of wrapped up in secrets and mysteries, but also in the style. It is somewhat non-linear. I don't think it's as hard to follow as some non-linear books can be, but I think it could be confusing for some people, and I think if that's not a style you're used to or comfortable with, it may leave you feeling like you're scrambling in the story and can't quite piece things together, and you may like that. It may add to the mystery and the intrigue, or it may frustrate you. So it just kind of depends on the type of reader that you are. But regardless, it is likely to make you uncomfortable in some way. At least some element will make you uncomfortable, whether it's the style, whether it's some of the murkier things that it deals with. There is something that's likely to get under your skin, and I think that really works for this. But if you're not someone who likes to have things that make you feel uncomfortable or that may be controversial or may not be resolved to your liking, if that bothers you rather than intrigues you, then there's a chance that it won't work for you. But it's not extreme, I wouldn't say. It's not, you know, crazy out there or anything, but it does kind of tackle some heavy things in a roundabout way. And if you're game for that, I think it does it exceptionally well. A little heavy without ever being heavy-handed. You know, it deals with weighty topics without ever being an issues book that's really didactic and overdone and kind of talks down to the reader. It's not like that at all. One of the other things I love about magical realism is the way that it can tackle problems from left field, give you a whole different perspective. And here's the part where I ran out of memory on my card. I think this video might be cursed. And as a story overall, I think it's very... oh, Jesus. And as a story overall, I think it's very tight pacing and tight plotting and a really unique, well carried off premise that just thoroughly impressed me. And to think that this is a debut kind of blows my mind. I can't wait to see what else she has in store. If you're starting this strongly right out of the gate, you're immediately on my author to watch list. Like, I would auto buy her next book on the strength of this one. Though I know it's not going to gel with everyone. For those of you that think that it will, for those of you that tend to like the things I like, or you like Laini Taylor, you like Victoria Schwab, you like evocative writing, being a little challenged, and getting something really unique, please do yourself a favor and go pick this one up. Seriously, beg, borrow, buy, do what you have to do to get your hands on this one because it really is memorable and something that stands out from the pack. I'm gonna go ahead and say now, I think you can look forward to seeing this in my 2015 favorites video. And that is what I thought of The Accident Season by Moïra Fowley-Doyle. But that's all for now. If you have read this, let me know your thoughts in the comments, even if you disagree with me. Maybe especially if you disagree with me. People need to get that perspective too. And I will gladly chat with you about it there. I will see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching and happy reading!